How can cover letters be used in 2025? And do they still matter? My name is Chris Villanueva. I'm the co-founder of Let's Eat Grandma resume service. I founded this company with my brother over 10 years ago, and we've helped thousands of job seekers just like you to get noticed and land their dream job. Head on over to let'seatgrandma.com and submit your resume for a free review. Welcome to the Let's Eat Grandma Career Warrior Podcast. Now today we're going to be talking all about cover letters. It is one of those controversial topics that have resurfaced time and time again. And I'm just so excited to talk to you about this because I know it's something that you are wondering, especially if you are tuned in today. First of all, there are some nuances to the hiring process as well as how we are developing our application materials here in 2025. AI has continued to grow and become a thing, and specifically on the job seeker side, we have generative AI in which people can throw together a cover letter real fast and send it away, send it off to a company. And from the recruiter side or the hiring manager side, we have it being used to search for and filter out candidates in a supposedly better way. Time will only tell if all of this is getting us to a better place than where we were, but we do know that there are some changes that have been made to the hiring landscape. And I'll try to take those into consideration as I give you some advice today on cover letters. So just a quick side note on AI. I thought this was a genius piece of insight from Typeform, who I'm subscribed to on their newsletter. So Typeform is in the world of online marketing. And they said that AI is not making bad marketing better. They're not essentially making bad marketing into good marketing, but they're making bad marketing faster. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is genius. And that can be applied to resumes and cover letters as well. AI is not making bad cover letters good. Instead, they're making so many of these bad cover letters just faster. So I'm not saying not to use AI, but I'm going to give you some insights today that should hopefully change the game and how you think about sending cover letters. First of all, sending cover letters. First of all, do cover letters even matter? Do cover letters still matter in 2025? Yes, but not as much as they used to. An interesting tidbit is the very first cover letter sent out was supposedly by Leonardo da Vinci to the Duke of Milan. He sent it as a letter to go on top of a resume, a Renaissance era resume, whatever that looked like, to say why he had the skills and qualifications for the role. Flash forward to the 90s. The 1990s loved the cover letter. They loved baggy jeans. They loved Michael Jordan, amongst other things that Gen Zers are oddly trying to bring back today. But they also loved the cover letter. It was getting more and more competitive as there were more positions available, more people applying, and online really wasn't a thing, obviously, as much as it was in the 2000s and the 2010s. But you know, some of that had some influence in the late 90s here. So the cover letter mattered a lot. However, as more and more ways for applicants to distinguish themselves, such as LinkedIn, as these things became available, the prominence and dominance of the cover letter began to decline. Now, the cover letter is still something that companies are asking for today, and it is still something that can be used to set yourself apart. But I think that the way most people are using cover letters today is not useful and not productive to the job search. So my key takeaway today is in 2025, cover letters are still useful, they're still relevant. However, only if to stand out, only if you are able to make some sort of distinction to help you stand out in your job search. There's one more thing that I'll add to that is not as important in my opinion, but if you're not using your cover letter to help you to stand out and show why you are the perfect applicant for the specific role at the company you're applying for, then it's not going to do anything. Now, I'll give another reason and another nuance to the cover letter. A cover letter can be used to overcome a shortcoming, for example, or to describe something that you feel like the resume could not do that you think the hiring manager might worry about, such as a career gap or the fact that you are making a massive career transition, such as a career gap, or the fact that you are making a massive career transition and you want to provide some context to the resume. I think that's another supplemental reason to use the cover letter and to ensure that the hiring manager gets it. But most of the time, people are just saying, I'm going to be using this cover letter as a convention, and so I submit this cover letter to you to apply for such and such role. I have X, Y, Z, and everything that the resume already said. If you were doing that, you're just wasting your time. So here are some things that you can do to set yourself apart, to get that cover letter in tip-top shape, and to make sure that you're not wasting your time here. For one, I would say use it as an extra opportunity to get more human. And so with resumes, we don't use pronouns. We don't really talk about my personal story or things like that. You can't really go into as much detail. I say, for example, make sure that your resume bullet points are short, punchy, and sweet. Your cover letter, you can get a little bit more prosaic and fill out an entire paragraph to go into detail. So if you have any stories that you feel like you can expand upon to draw the connection to the company you're applying for, that would be your opportunity to do so. If, for example, you're applying for a company in which the company culture of mountain biking, kind of just throwing random stuff out there, if that is going to be really important, then maybe you can bring a story about how you were able to volunteer for an organization that involved mountain biking and getting kids active out in their cities in a safe way. Just pulling stuff out of my brain. Hope this works. Hope this makes sense. But you get the point. Make sure to draw the connection to the company as much as possible. Another thing you could try, and again, I'm throwing things out and hopefully giving you things that you've never heard of before or never considered, but perhaps a video cover letter. A video cover letter is something that I would say 99% of people are not doing, but it is a way that you can distinguish yourself by making you appear more human and to really sell yourself in a different way. An example of how you can do that is you could submit something that looks like a cover letter. Maybe it's a paragraph, but you transmit this electronically, such as an email, and hyperlink a Vidyard video of you. Vidyard is a really solid piece of software that I use, and you get up to 5 minutes for free. In fact, if you're going over 5 minutes for something like this, you're probably just wasting your time because that's too long. But what I would say is use this and hyperlink it and send it to a hiring manager. I'm not saying that this is right for everyone. I'm just trying to give you ideas and creative ways to stand out. Another way that you can use a cover letter in a more modern way is by putting the same idea and the same concept in the body of an email. I've done this before as I was applying for a general manager position for a club way back in my restaurant, hospitality, hotel days, but I did that and it was well received because it wasn't like this extra attachment. The person didn't ask for the cover letter, but I was using it to transmit my resume and to provide some more context to who I am as a professional and to really sell the fact that I had reduced expenses for one of the properties that I had worked for, that I was able to increase the profitability and tell a story because I knew that's what this club was looking for. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're sending it as a conventional cover letter, you could still use paragraphs, stories, and additional context as an amazing way to supplement your resume and to get noticed and to stand out. So I hope this got you thinking about the ways that you could move forward in your job search. If you are looking for cover letter help or resume or LinkedIn help as well, head on over to letseatgrandma.com. We are a company of service, so we want to make you feel supported in any way we can, whether it's our boutique resume writing packages or our free resources. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. There are 30 possible resume mistakes stopping you from landing interviews. And please, whatever you do, don't submit your resume to another bot who won't listen. As a top resume service, we've helped thousands of job seekers. And with our expert eye, Let's Eat Grandma will transform your resume into a job-winning masterpiece. Don't wait. Submit your resume to Let's Eat Grandma now for a free critique.